Blacks in Technology.
Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology. Blacks in Technology.
On this episode of the Bit Tech Talk podcast, Entrepreneurship Edition, Natasha interviews Jordan Turner, co-founder of Global Game App, an app that matches you to available businesses and trainers that fit your health and fitness needs. And now, our host of the Bit Tech Talk podcast, Entrepreneurship Edition, Natasha Robinson.
Jordan, how are you today?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Natasha?
Excellent. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the Blacks in Technology Bit Tech Talk podcast. And today we're featuring Jordan Turner from Global Game. The Bit Tech Talk podcast is a show where we talk to Black people who are engineers, innovators, educators, inventors, change makers, and entrepreneurs doing amazing things in the world of technology. So I'm so thrilled to have you, and I just wanted to start off and ask you more about yourself. And could you, give us a little bit about where you're from, where you went to school, maybe some fun facts about yourself?
Certainly. Well, as you stated earlier, my name is Jordan Turner. I was originally born in Newport News, Virginia, but I pretty much grew up in Charlotte my whole life. I graduated from what's known now as Julius L. Chambers High School, and ended up going to Central Piedmont for 2 years before transferring to UNC Charlotte. It's not really a little known fact. Everybody who knows me knows I'm a huge and avid Philadelphia sports fan. So Eagles, Sixers, Phillies, Flyers, all of them. I'm an avid fan.
Yes, I'm from New England, so you know what I represent, even being in Charlotte. Great. And the other half of Global Game, Ben Leake, can you tell us how you two met and came up with the idea for Global Game?
Yes. So Ben and I have actually been friends for countless years. I can't even remember when we first met. I want to say it was sometime in middle school. And it was always a different relationship with me and him. We've always try to push each other to get the best out of each other, whether it was in sports or anything. And we actually came up with the idea for our business in a passing conversation one day. We were looking for somewhere to play pickup basketball, and I had jokingly said to him, man, I wish there was an app that could find out places where we could go and play and whether or not people were actually there or not, because we spent so many countless hours driving to places just for them to be closed or for nobody to be there. And Ben looked at me and said point blankly, we should make it. And I didn't know how serious he was at the time, but he brought it back up to me maybe about a couple weeks later. And ever since then, we were tunnel vision and trying to get this vision accomplished.
Awesome story. And when was this, would you say?
This was maybe about 4 or 5 years ago where we had this the initial conversations for creating Global Game.
Do you have a product or service that you would like to share with the BIT audience? Or maybe you'd like to support the BIT community and do your part in helping us with stomping the divide? Start by sponsoring one of our podcasts. Please email us at contactus@blacksintechnology.net.
That's how sometimes it starts, right? It starts from something that's unexpected, And what's always exciting for me to hear is how entrepreneurs take that idea and build and build and build from that. And I'm curious, like, did you have an interest in tech or anything before this, or any experience with something like this?
Honestly, neither one of us had any experience in the tech world at all prior to this. We knew it was something that we thought would be a good idea, and it was a shared pain that we've had with other people that we've come across. Uh, we've spoken with countless other people about places, then they would mention in passing some places, but also would ask us if we knew of anywhere. And oftentimes, we kind of realized that we had the same problem that a lot of other people had. And so even though it was a field and a space that we weren't too familiar with, it was something that we felt like we could tackle if we really dedicated ourselves to it and pushed ourselves.
Sure. And tell me more about the experience of the app. Could you bring me kind of through the journey for the customer, what they see or how they're able to use it?
Of course. So our app makes it pretty streamlined for all the information that you need to be able to connect with a facility or a trainer in the sport or fitness activity of your choosing. We also have the ability for you to connect with other users through communities or just with profiles, just to help engage people within a community to stay active and stay fit and not have that hurdle of trying to find those places in order to accomplish those things.
Very useful. I know personally too, but you're saying that same trying to find a place or figure out, which activity you want to do and where, and so be able to do that quickly is a great idea. And I'm curious too about like your partnerships with the facilities or trainers. Like, how did you generate those relationships? Like, where did you start?
Honestly, I owe it all to Ben. He has been vigilant in networking for us. As I stated earlier, neither one of us had any experience in the tech world. And a lot of this has come on the fly in terms of just trying to learn as we go and making sure that we connect ourselves with the right people who are in this space to help provide us some mentorship and insight for what our next move should be. And Ben has been just great in that regards in terms of getting and connecting us with either facilities and trainers or just people within the sports tech world who may happen to know some trainers or facilities to get them on and get them to see the usefulness and the benefits of our application.
Totally. I remember when I first met Ben actually through Bit, and he had that marketing deck ready, let me tell you. And all the information you needed to understand what was going on and what he was, needing help with or support with. It was very clear. And I knew from then that I wanted to work with him and to support you guys as best as I can with connecting you and Charlotte and, now on a broader platform on our podcast. So it was great meeting him and now meeting you.
BIT is always focused on forming new partnerships and opportunities to assist the community and our members with their continued professional growth and development. If you'd like to partner with us, send an email, inquiries@blacksintechnology.net.
What I liked that you said is about mentorship. I'm a big proponent of it. I had mentors throughout my life that I consider to be part of my family, really, and have guided me along the way. Without naming specific people, were there certain key people that came into your life around the time you generated this idea for Global Game that, as you said, have helped you to build and grow that you may want to mention?
Oh, for sure. You being one of them, your help and your knowledge has been a huge aid for us. There were a couple of situations that we were in that I don't know if we would have been able to navigate without your expertise. So I appreciate everything that you've done for us. But yes, I mean, we've had countless mentors. And the main thing I think with me and Ben that we try to take into this is this is all a learning experience, and the information that we can gain from people who have been there before, maybe kind of know the ropes a little bit better than us, is only going to help and add to our experience and also shorten our learning curve. And just going into it knowing that we don't know everything, and the best way to acquire that knowledge is to ask and to network. I think that's been the biggest thing. But we've had countless mentors along the way, whether it's in tech or more specifically sports tech, and a couple of people like Sterling Mack or Larry Long, or a host of other people. I mean, I would be doing them a disservice if I try to name them all, but it's been a countless group of people who've helped us along the way in making sure that we, know what we need to do and how to execute it properly.
For sure. And that's also what the mission of Blacks in Technology is really to equip our community with resources as best we can, connect them to people and opportunities for growth and development. And looking in hindsight, what is one thing that you wish you had known before launching Global Game? I had another guest say that she wished she had knew more about product management or something like that. So what would you say was one thing that you wish you had known beforehand?
One thing that I wish I would have known beforehand, which may not be particular to our mobile application, but just in general, is the need of knowing that everything won't be perfect. And I think that was one of the biggest hurdles for me and Ben going into this, was feeling like, all right, we know what we want to do, and we figured we had a good way to execute it, but obviously there's always going to be other pitfalls and other things that come up that, will make the situation a lot more complicated than you initially planned. And not getting too caught up on those little tedious nuances was something that I feel like would have helped us earlier on to not spend so much time on certain things and try to focus more on the bigger picture.
Yes, for sure. That topic of like cycle time and iteration, but also, like you said, room to fail as you grow. Nobody wants to talk about failure. And it doesn't have to be like a negative thing, but just you're not going to get everything perfect. And so I think that's really a real point that also is good to impart to entrepreneurs just getting started, and so many different hats they're playing, and something's got to get it right.
Exactly.
And then, so tell me about how things are going. What are your plans for the coming year, couple of years? Like, what's the future looking like for Global Game?
Well, right now we're just trying to build as much as we can and help network to build up our user base. But we right now want to tackle the social media market in terms of being that information bridge and helping connect other users with facilities and other users and trainers. But ultimately, what we plan on Global Game being is just synonymous with sports and health and fitness, whether it's creating venues for people to be able to host kids games, or breaking into mental health as well, because that's a huge aspect towards your physical health as well. I mean, you can't work out if you're not mentally fit in order to, push yourself to work out. And so I think for us right now is just mastering our field that we're in right now. And hopefully within the next 5 years, we'll be in a space where, like I said, we're synonymous with sports and health and fitness.
That sounds great and so true. I'm hoping for the Charlotte chapter to partner with some organizations on the mental health front as well, because your point is so true about it's the whole body, not just, the physical, but also the mental. So that's really awesome. And then the last question I have for you is, if you could travel anywhere without any concern about what's going on in the world today, where would that be and why?
Oh, that's a very good question. I'm somebody who has not traveled as much as I would have liked. And so I have quite a few on my list. But honestly, I would say probably This may seem a little off, but I've always wanted to go to the Galapagos Islands. I'm not sure why, but as a kid, I was huge into watching like Nat Geo and stuff like that. And something about that has always struck me as a very serene and peaceful place, just because it's not too much human destruction that's been caused there, and it's a lot of natural beauty, and being able to go somewhere that doesn't have that much human influence would be nice to see. Because I mean, as living in such a big city such as Charlotte, or just being, you know, in the United States in general, you know, it's rare that you find places that are really untouched. And so I would say probably like the Galapagos Islands would probably be top on my list.
Very cool. I like it. I haven't heard about that since school too. And I've yet to meet anyone who's traveled there. So you never know with life. You may actually get there, you know? And I can't wait to hear the story about that.
I would love to be able to share that story.
Well, this is Natasha again with Blacks in Technology, and I want to thank you, Jordan Turner, for your time today and sharing information about Global Game. Global Game is available on all platforms, mobile as well as on web-based. So look out for Global Game, and thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thank you for having me, Natasha.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.
Blacks in Technology.
Blacks in technology. Blacks in technology. Blacks in technology. Blacks in technology. Blacks in technology.